Hello, hello, beautiful people. How are you doing? Let me know in the chat if you can hear properly. Okay, we're live. Awesome, awesome. The delayed server is down. I don't think it's down, guys. Yeah, a lot of people are connected as we speak. If you have a problem with connection, please reach out to our support team. They can fix it for you in 0 time. How's it doing? How you all doing, guys? Have you guys, because there's a lot of new people, so for those who just recently joined in the last few days, welcome to the bootcamp. Just a quick introductory guide for all of you. And also let me know, guys, how many of you are actually new? We can also delete all the drawings. Eight in the chat if you're new. So for all of the people who are new to deep charts and they've just maybe, let me just, to avoid any issue, let me just push up the performance of my computer real quick. Okay, so a quick introductory guide for you to all the new people. You're gonna find in your home everything that relates to, you know, the basics. In subscriptions, you find all of the downloads. On tutorials, you're gonna see some tutorials. We're gonna keep adding more soon. On the learning page instead, you're gonna find the course. And the first thing I need you guys to do is watch the course, okay? Because this is going to take you slowly into understanding everything you need to know about order flow, about futures if it's the first time you actually trade futures, the liquidity double auction theory, the main order flow tools, how to set them up, all of the basics, the auction market theory models, and the auction session dynamics that you can get. Also 2 strategies, the initial balance breakout and the RTH gap fill. So please do go through everything before coming into these live sessions because they're way more practical. And on the events instead, you can see all of the future bootcamps in green. The purple one are the past bootcamps, so you can click and watch the recording and you can basically rewatch the previous session very easily. And join our Discord server if you haven't yet, okay? So join our Discord server by clicking here. It's going to be active very soon, guys. We're taking a little more time on that because we're finalizing the education of our Discord coaches that will basically help you out every single day. We're hiring 4 of them that can help you inside of the Discord server to answer any question you might have on the basics of order flow, on how to read order flow, and a lot of other really cool stuff that we want to provide just for you guys that are going to be in the VIP section of the Discord server, as you guys are early customers and we want to give you the best possible experience, okay? So allow us, let's say 2 more days and you're gonna have an amazing Discord experience, guys. I promise you it's worth it. I'm gonna open the Q&A section, so if you guys have any direct question, you can ask directly there. Is there Black Friday discounts to data feeds? No, unfortunately not, Philippe. Is there hotkeys for instant buy and sell in deep charts yet? No, not for instant buying or selling. Adding Indian markets that will, Nifty and Nifty 50 stocks, so the NSE. We're planning to do it in 2026, so it's going to be there, don't worry. How to get level 3 data through deep charts. I mean, you don't need it here. You don't need level 3 data on deep chart. You need it though maybe inside of Deep DOM, which is another software. How can I activate the bid and ask on the chart? What do you mean, Pedro? Bid and ask like this one? Bid ask. Oh, I think you mean not the footprint itself, but the depth of market on chart. You can go here, indicators, look for DOM, depth of market, and add it. And you're gonna see it right on chart. Yes, hotkeys are on the roadmap. You have some, by the way. You have some here, if I remember correctly. There are some hotkeys already. Gex will be available soon. Is there a way to change the size of the historical trade markets markers? In what do you mean, dog? In a situation where you have positive delta and the candle goes down, how do you trade this? That's not enough information to open a trade, CS. Is there a measurement tool? Yes. You just left click and drag. Left click, drag. Can you share your template with us? They're all shared inside of the template sections. So you can go on shared, full version, and you have mine here on ES, or maybe they're somewhere else, wait. Oh yeah, you have them here, 1 minute ES, 5 minute ES, then you have Fabio Valentini NQ, you have deep trades with his specific model. You have them all here on the shared part, and you can save your own on the local one. Is it possible to have the recommended minimum amount of big trades based on ATR? Yes. Yes, we're working on it. It's going to be available only on deep trades, I think, next week. Is there a way to reset the voices for orders? Yes. You go options, settings, and you select which one you want on notification sounds. Can I have the settings of the fixed VBP? There's not a specific setting for that. You can just play around with it, you know. You can, for example, draw it from here to here, let's say. This is my volume profile. And then I can right click and go to VBP settings. And maybe I can put delta and total volume, which is how Fabio likes it. And there you have it. Super easy. So we're likely going short now, guys, by the way. You can see. Let's have a quick analysis of today's action and see what could happen. So, yesterday, our action evolved around here, and we're currently trying to break outside of that and smashing on top of this, which is pretty much, no, this is the, sorry, this is the upper value area. So this is the area we're currently fighting against, where we've had some failed auctions already. So the first thing you can do in a session like this is look at where the previous day's value area is. And also look in the composite volume profile that this big area is where we're trying to get inside of, okay? Which is ultimately the main value area of this range. So the bias could be long at the moment. If we accept inside here, it's a long day. I'll explain you why even better. second. I cannot find my pen. Welcome everyone. I normally just look at, well, I'll show you guys like the full top-down analysis that I normally do. Is it possible to use deep charts to analyze crypto markets? You have Bitcoin, but we're going to add all of the cryptocurrencies in 2026. Level 2 data is enough for me? Yes, even level 1 is enough. What template do you use? The 1 minute and the 5 minute Andrea2 template that you can find here. Fabio will teach us in the future streams? Yes, yes, yes. What he will teach you? Well, we'll go practical, guys. Like, we want to go as practical as we humanly can. So, how do I normally do this? I take the composite volume profile that tells me where are the main areas of play. And I can see that, for example, this is a comfortable area to trade at. This is not such a comfortable area to trade at. And that's where we got all of these rejections from sellers. Anytime we approach this area, we had some rejections, okay? So the buyers that caused, probably in the previous price action, price to push this way up, here are defending their position, okay? So what you want to do is to see if we are on an extreme side of this big area of value, which we are, and where are we likely to go, okay? So if we just went out and failed auctioning lower and accepting staying there for a long time, if we had this going on, we might have a short bias, right? Because a lot of volume, a lot of money is being created. So in this case, if we are here and we break below with a lot of volume, we typically wait for a test, more aggressive selling, and we go with the crowd. But here, what happened? Let's look at what happened. We tried to auction below the low volume node, which is the uncomfortable area, and we tried to move on to a more comfortable area of price and see if we can develop a new auction there. But you can see what happened there. How did price react to that area of volume? Well, we tried to break in once. This is the area. Couldn't. Try it again. Couldn't. Try it again. Couldn't. Try it again. Couldn't. These are all failed auctions. So yes, we created some value here. We created some decent area of volume. But then what happened? Great buying pressure, strong upwards momentum, and we went back inside of an area of comfort, which is where we are now. Okay? And now, looking at the macro perspective, we are breaking outside of 2 days of ranging, which is a lot of volume, and we're breaking out right now. So this is actually a long setup, guys. This is a long, it's going to be likely to be a long session. So the first trade idea is whenever we break above the opening range, we'd like to buy here as soon as we have some confirmation and maybe get to the other side of the value area, taking out these highs and these highs. And this is where we're going to probably respond after. So then we look at what's happening inside and we wait for the confirmation that I've explained on the course, which is the opening range breakout. As of now, it didn't happen with the way we want it. So what we do is we take the high of the first 15-minute session, the low, so 1, 2, 3, this is the low. And we're looking for breakouts that have a big aggression and a full candle closing below. This one was not a good breakout, to be honest. Yes, we had some aggression here. You can see through the imbalances, but not so much. And the following candle just rejected back inside with a lot of strong buy-side delta. And we went back to the other side of the range. So now what we're looking for here is for a new candle to break above here. Okay? And possibly something like what we're seeing here. So big trades, sellers being absorbed, and candles closing above this area. We had one, but now as soon as we try to auction higher, what happens? What we call a failed auction. So failed auction 1, failed auction 2, bit of strong rejection here, and we see volume kind of giving up as we go up again here. So what we want to see is buyers taking control. We want to see buyers allowing us to see some good aggression and initiation movement above here. That's where we can be confident to open this, let's say, buy trade. And since we've already broken out of yesterday's low, yesterday's high, I think there's a good chance we might see this breakout happening. Okay, it's a really good chance. But we don't want to anticipate. Okay, we don't want to predict, we want to react, as always, as Fabio says. And for the target placement, we simply look, since we're in an area of comfort, where does the area of comfort end? Well, we look at where from a high volume point, we drop. Okay? So we take that area, which is called the ledge. And we might want to take it like this. This is the macro area. Extend it. And somewhere like here could be a target. So whenever we see a candle with a strong aggression closing above here, and then we can, help ourselves with some shorter time frame auction. Oops. Nope. Let's put this one here. Let's check. And we have also a lot of liquidity levels that are likely going to be taken, such as this one, this one. If we break above, those are going to be some easy targets to smash. So what we want to look at here is there any responsive type of auction? Yes. How do we recognize responsive auction? Well, we want to see buyers being absorbed, okay? So is there an effort from buyers? Yes. But what's the result? You have all these buyers at the tops of the candles. This is called a responsive auction. It means that a lot of sellers are here in the ask, blocking the way up. Okay? Also here a lot of buyers. Also here a lot of buying, nothing. Okay? So we want to see this area being broken. That's where we see that the money is on our side. Do you trade ES options daily? No, I trade SPX options. Let's see some questions. We don't have Heiken Ashis at the moment. No, we don't connect CFD prop firms, Gabriel. What are we covering today? Today we're going through practical stuff. The bootcamp is mostly for practice and Q&A. So we take basically everything that you learned inside of the course and put it into practice. Because, it's not supposed to be just a course. Minimum filter value on NASDAQ deep trades, 30 to 40 on the New York session. But you have the template that Fabio gave you. The MT5 integration is, yes, available, Arthur. You need to ask our support team on how specifically to do that. All entries from event calendars are removed. The earlier events were visible. Yeah, you can see them now. You can see them now. We had to update the website. What about AMP or dormant connection? Through Rhythmic Trader Pro, you can pretty much connect anything. Can I activate a heat map? We're going to have a heat map released very soon. It's another software of our suite, which is called Deep DOM. Let's see if this aggression is going to prove something or not. Is it possible to have a line that separates each session? I think we can. Will Binance data feed be activated? We're working on something much broader and have the full aggregated data feed. How do you know where you just sell and you can just search for buy and when? I don't know what you mean, Gabriel. We have another attempt to auction higher. Let's see if the same sellers here are going to respond, and yes, they are. We want to see if they're able to break. A bar timer, yes. I think you go here, countdown timer, and you have it here. Skip a full candle in replay mode? Not yet, but we might include it. Let's see if this is the auction. If we break above here, we're gonna have a very strong 2. And we're gonna see a lot of buyers kicking in. And then we'll see what happens right after that. Can I use 5-minute ES for NASDAQ? Not really. I'm gonna make it for you guys specifically for the NASDAQ, because you need to group them. I mean, you still can, but what you need to do is to go to the settings of the deep print of the order flow analyzer and put manual grouping to 5 and set 5. And another cool indicator that we haven't really delved deep into, but it's kind of useful, I think, is called tape speed. Ooh, we have some big trades here. Yep, big sellers. If we close below here, we're not ready to break out here yet. Yeah. We're likely moving towards these areas. See how this candle closes. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, aggressive sellers are present. We're going. Is it possible to get the data feed straight through Interactive Broker as well? It's connectable only for trading with the TWS. Which type of data feed you have? I have Rhythmic, DX feed. A lot of indicators has protection parameter. Will they always there? Add some indicator. I don't see them in the list, but if I use the Dask template, I get the indicator. I'm not sure. They may have a slightly different name for the same indicators because we recently changed the names. Right click, show historical trade markers. The default size is very small, so you want it to have it bigger, I think, right? I think that's good. What is this small purple and green profile on the side of your chart? This is a depth of, it's basically this one. So the depth of market, your average depth of market, plotted directly on the chart. For MT4 connection, ask our team. With big trades, you see where in the market we have an aggressive buyer or seller, but is it possible to know when that position is closed? No. Do we have anchored VWAP tool? I can't find it. Yes, I've explained it, I think, yesterday during the public live session. You can simply take this, the anchored volume profile, you plot it, and then you you right click, VBP settings, you activate the VWAP with the envelopes, developing VWAP envelopes, and that's it. And then, for example, yeah, that's pretty much it. And you have the developing profile. Okay, we closed. So exactly here, that's where we rejected again, which is the upper area that we've seen on the previous day, which is the previous value area high, let's say. We're now responding with buyers. And the war that happened here, this block of orders, very famous order block, we have a winner. Now it's buyers. Okay, so it's very likely that this big aggression will lead to the next breakout. This is a strong low. Whenever you see a lot of volume plotting a V reversal, that's what you see as a strong low. So this is a good buy idea now. The last confirmation, so this is like the aggressive type of entry when you see this candle closing with a high delta. The conservative one would be whenever we see the breakout that we're waiting, that we've waited here, didn't happen, here didn't happen. So it's more conservative to look for it here. So let's see if this aggression will actually manage to break out, or if we're going to respond again from sellers. There's a lot of aggression from buyers. You have 17% delta. Let's see. And not yet. Look at that, bro. There's a very high volatility, by the way. So it's really, really good markets to trade. And risky for those who don't know how to. One quantity worth. There's a course about it, Katsuka. How can I change and save the default settings on the VWAP? It's the same thing. The same thing I showed before, but for example, I don't know, you edit something, configurations, manage, and you can set the default here. Let's say we want to call it as this, and you can, for example, yeah, save it. And I think it's like this, yes. You have to just pull it up. The one that's going to put up is going to be the default. Yep, there you go. Now, what we're going to see likely some level of responsiveness here, which is what's happening now. Here with all these buyers. But these are being absorbed right here at the 240. See, the breakout did not happen. We had more responsiveness. We're not ready yet. Not ready to break yet. That's what I mean by not predicting but reacting. Now, did you see what happened here? This is where they failed, right? This is the big trades that failed. Look at where market is reacting. We literally drew this zone 5 minutes ago. Market is not reacting at random zones. Let's see. Almost there. How many days you look back? Not so many. Look at the last few weeks for the macro setup and then just the previous day. Yeah, all of the templates will be available in the next week or so. Do you have an edge when price is an all-time high? Yeah. Typically price at all-time highs keeps rising a lot of the times. And when it drops really hard because there's a lot of protection from option market from, let's say, option traders in general. Let's see, maybe now it's the moment. Let's see if we can break above. Can I display my past trades on chart with entry, stop loss, and take profit? Yeah, I mean, you can either do it like this and then save the workspace. So it's going to save also your drawings and you keep them on the chart. Or you can show historical orders and it's going to literally show you the entry and the exits levels. Can you show settings from composite profile? Yeah, I mean, it's just... Ooh, sellers are being absorbed here and we have the buyers. Do you see the two? It just happened. Now it's all about what's going to happen next. Is this going to be a failed auction and sellers are going to take back control of the market? Or is the speed going to keep going up? But as I see for now, we don't have results from all this buying. Sellers still consider these prices to be very cheap. So they sell. So for the composite volume profile, you simply add a new volume profile, and on the settings you put volume and composite, and it's gonna just give it to you. Very easy. Can I set up a developing custom deep profile? What do you mean custom, Christy? Christery. Ci stari. Can we have the same template like you? Yeah. Ooh, there we have it. Let's see if we can be able to close. But we have a big trade here. So breakout with a big trade means we're probably gonna keep going up. And this is our setup for the day. If we close this candle like this, we close this candle like this with a strong delta, and and no. Let's see. No, we reject it. Rejection on the big trade is not good. We want the candle to close full. We won't see the buyers dominating the auction. And another thing we can add is a very cool indicator we call speed of tape. And yes, we're ready. This is a qualified buy setup. Let's see how aggressive sellers will be now. If they're too fast to drop back down, this is not a good sign, of course. But this would be a stop loss I'm happy to take. So it will be somewhere like here. And stopping probably here. The ultimate goal would be to have a very strong bullish session and reach this side, okay? But that's a very, very ambitious goal, okay? So this is another cool indicator you guys might want to see, which is the speed of tape. It's basically telling you how fast is the auction. Okay, and typically when you see it increasing on a breakout, it's a good sign that the auction will keep going higher or will keep following up that direction. Because speed typically means a lot of participation. Okay. the stop loss would be probably somewhere below here. Yeah. I want it below this big war that happened, below these big trades that happened. By the way, this is all just didactical. Don't open these trades, guys. This is not financial advice, all of that good stuff. It's just some didactical ideas that we are evaluating together to study the functioning of order flow, okay? The bootcamp recordings, no. We cannot upload them there. Usher. Can I display my past trades on the chart with entry, stop loss, and take profit? Yeah, just like this. We just click either buy or sell annotation. Well, let's see what happens here. Seems to be some aggressive response from sellers. But look at these candles, they're really good. Like they're very full of buying activity, full of delta. So again, if it closes back inside here, you can either wait for your stop loss, because we're happy to take a stop loss like this one, because it has all of our confirmations. We have the big trades on a breakout, we have a strong rejection. Or if you want to manage it more dynamically, if you see a very strong conviction of sellers inside here with increasing volume, then you know it's probably going to go to stop loss and reach probably the other side of the range. But what we want to see typically during these breakouts is strong volume on the buy candles and not so much volume on the downwards candle, which is sort of what happened here, right? Not as much participation. I'm a trader, gold future. I have some question how to make a read. So for the stop spot or the deep wall, we're gonna have a specific session regarding them, but it's a London session setups for the ES. But they are not the main indicators. They're just like a sprinkle of chocolate on top of the pie. They're not the pie itself. Okay, Pedro? Ooh, look at this. This is good. Can you go over stop runs? Yeah, we're gonna have one specific session on stop runs. Some templates are not in there. Okay, we'll take a look, Michael. There's a lot of difference if I analyze micros Nasdaq instead of mini. No, you have to analyze on the mini and you can trade on the micro. Okay, so what you want to do is go on the trading panel, keep the micro Nasdaq, sorry, the mini Nasdaq on the chart, and then select for the trading panel the micro. Okay, so for example, I can choose the micro ES while keeping looking at the ES main contract. A really cool thing, really cool feature. Let me go up to also the most recent questions. Explain the logic for stop loss and take profit. What is the model you explained here? We've already, so all of this is explained inside of the bootcamp. So I'm going to explain it real quick now. What you want to do earlier in the session is take the first 3-minute bars, 3-minute candles, going to pop the high and the low, and whenever there's a breakout, a strong breakout with a 5-minute candle that has a lot of volume, a lot of imbalance, and you see the auction is with a strong initiative, you buy the breakout. Okay, so this is the 15-minute initial balance breakout with our initiation volume. And how do you normally place your stop loss? Is you take the distribution of the initial balance, maybe take the point of control and stay a little below that. So if you know that if it breaks, it's because it really wants to break. If you want to be really conservative, you probably keep it slightly below the opening range. Okay? And in this case, you buy. And for the target, I've explained at the beginning of the session how we want to place it. Why would you not enter during the consolidation to get a better entry instead of waiting for the close above? Because I want to have a proof from buyers that they are in control of this auction. Because every time we got here and approached the breakout, what we wanted to see, like what we saw was sellers absorbing and taking control. Sellers absorbing and taking control. Sellers absorbing and taking control. What I want to see is buyers in control of the auction. Even though my setup, I told you already, this could have been the aggressive setup. And you could get a better risk to reward because we would probably already be 1 to 2, 1 to 3 as we speak. But I told you, that's more risky. The win rate is lower. You could get another spike here and then see your trade actually go to target. Why not be patient and just waiting for a confirmation that buyers are in control? And this, again, it's really hard to see with price action alone because you're going to get a lot of mixed signals. Here, it's data, it's numbers. You cannot do this without order flow, at this level of precision, accuracy, win rate, and risk to reward ratio. Okay? Do trade ES option daily? I've already answered. I trade SPX options. A Discord group chat where we group live. Yes, it will be activated in the next few days. Look at this trade, guys. W's in the chat. I want to see some W's in the chat. Since you guys cannot do live execution, it could be interesting to have some back testing sessions. I mean, we're doing 4 testing together, by the way. This is 4 testing. It's just we cannot open live trades, but we're basically, you know. Ooh, that's good, that's good, that's good. Big W's. Woo. Okay, will you do Discord live trading? No, guys, it's gonna be all happening here. Sniper entry. Yeah, it was a sniper, guys. ES options. Oh, you asked it so many times. Please don't ask the same questions. Would it be possible to update your to share to include your deep trade settings on the 5-minute template? Yes, I can put it. It's possible to code for backtest? Not yet. Can you please share the indicator of the big profile volume? I've done it before. Rewatch the session. There's a lot of people, guys, who have to answer pretty much everyone. So if I've already answered a question, I'm going to tell you to rewatch it. How do you manage risk, BE points, trading stop loss? Normally, I just don't. BE, this is just me, guys. This is very personal. I don't put stop loss to break even. I don't trail my stop loss. I just wait for my target to be respected. So I might take some profits in the meantime, because we have a big selling activity below here. So one of the targets, for example, could be this one or this one. Okay. But this has a very high likelihood of just running to the target, guys, like super high likelihood. So I would probably just keep this open. And whenever I take a trade is because I am confident that I will not get a stop loss. So if it goes to stop loss is because my analysis and my edge present itself but didn't work. But it still presented itself. I have my edge. But I'm ready to take a stop loss. Like I'm happy to take a stop loss. When I can confidently say that I'm happy to take a stop loss, I take the trade and I forget about it. If I take a stop loss, so be it. Do you have to adjust the settings for the volume profile? Not really. What do you mean it's not accurate, Mano? Difference between ES and MES, one produce slippery? Yeah, probably yes. When we will get big trades, as you shown in the live yesterday on YouTube, do we need to update deep charts to get it? Yes. But we'll let you know when it's time for that to happen. Really curious about options and thinking about starting trading. That's a whole other game, guys. It's a whole different game. You're not just trading direction, you're trading volatility. So you have time, you have volatility. There's a bunch of stuff you need to learn before trading options. Do you ever run without stop loss to scalp volatility to ticks away? Not really. No, I always have a stop loss. Unless I'm like risking really low and I have a mental stop loss anyway. Deep charts platform closed in the overnight. How can you prevent that? It doesn't close in overnight. How does the deep M effort work? Fabio's going to make a specific session regarding that because it's an amazing indicator. Really, really amazing stuff. Why aren't there any sell orders on the DOM? Because I didn't center it down. There you have it. Can you take partials? Yes, of course, but it depends on how many contracts you've opened. I normally do not. How many trades do you usually open per session? I don't trade like this, guys. I don't trade futures directionally. Now I'm just showing you how I used to trade and how Fabio partly trades breakouts. But I now trade options because I do not have the physical time to trade and manage these trades. Because I'm running businesses and I prefer to make money with businesses, and I trade options in the, whenever I see some specific patterns throughout the day, at the end of the day. And I'm currently leaving, by the way, some sort of drawdown. Let me see if I can show you. I'm currently in a little bit of a drawdown in my options trading. I'm practicing NASDAQ. How far should I put my stop loss to breathe my trade and perform? It depends. It depends on so many factors. It depends on your strategy. It's just too wide of a question. And also, I'm not really experienced on NASDAQ. I'm more of an ES guy. So just for transparency purposes, just sharing the current performance. Not a great month for Andrea, this one. So this is a forward testing that I'm making on this account. And I've been leaving a serious drawdown for the last basically month. Okay, it's my first month I close in drawdown, but that's how it is. That's how it is, guys. You're gonna have month and drawdowns. Consistency, like trading, is not a linear profit job. Okay, there's no linearity in the way. In the profits in general, you're always going to see some, swings of profit, up or down, up and down. There's going to be some months where maybe you don't make money, okay, or you just recover from a previous big loss. That can happen. Anyone who tells you that it cannot happen, they're just lying to your face. I never take a month off. Yeah, whatever. Like, let's be realistic. Even one of the best traders in the scene now, Umar Ashraf, which is someone I have huge respect to because of his transparency, just shared a $1.4 million losing month. And he's been trading for 12 years. Fabio has losing months. Patrick Neal has losing months. All of the real traders have losing months. But somehow the fake gurus with MT4 screenshots never have a losing month. Yeah, whatever, bro. Whatever. Trading is like quantum physics. Nah, it's much easier than quantum physics. But there's no linearity, so you have to always approach the trading business smartly. You don't want to put all of your money, all of your capital into trading and just, fucking risk it all because you know that every month you're going to be profitable. It's not like that. It's just not like that. Would you trade future actively if you had more time? Yes. Yes, the point is I don't want to. Like, could I? Yes. Do I want to stay in front of charts the whole day? Not really. Like, I have more fun ways to make money and more efficient ways to make money. I love making business. I love being a public figure. I love having a big impact. I love showing traders how fake the industry is and bringing real traders and professional approach. I love the idea of conquering. I love the idea of having a legacy. So I just keep the last few hours of the day to trading with options, with a very solid strategy. And there's 197 says in this book, it's the information worth using. Yes, this can be a target, for example. Like, we can confidently say that the market will go here and eat this level of liquidity at some point in the future. And whenever you see a lot of big values here, it's likely that we're going to make what Enrico Stucchi, our amazing mentor, calls the barbecue. It's a grill, right? It's like a grill. So we're going to take, tack, 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 and this is called liquidity to liquidity trading. We have some first seller aggression. Should low volume nodes be viewed as support and resistance areas? Because it contradicts with the idea of entry point areas. No, actually that's a very good point. I mean, low volume nodes are probably the strongest rejections level. Like, the best rejections level, like, you should see market as this, right? You should see this part is the center of the range. You don't really want to open a lot of trades inside of here because price is likely to do a lot of ups and downs. So you don't have a lot of directional edge when you are inside of the value area. Where do you have it instead? As this is the most probable statistical distribution of trades and volume, anything that is outside of the value area is to be considered as some form of anomaly. So whenever you see low volume, it's both because aggressive buyers were too strong and are going to still consider these prices cheap. So they push price up because they've pushed it before. Same thing for sellers. So you both have a statistical reason based on the standard deviation, where you know that 70% of the volume was traded here, and so this is where normality happens, and anything above or below, which is around 50% here and 50% here, is an anomaly, and we should treat it as such, statistically speaking. But also, that the reason behind this anomaly is that buyers are an anomaly here, sellers are in control. Sellers are an anomaly here, buyers are typically in control. So whenever you see some form of a statistical anomaly and you couple it with the meaning behind it, which is premium and discount based on volume, based on what the market, the money is telling you with literal trading activity, then you know these areas are the highest likelihood of having rejections. So what most of the time you will see in a balanced type of profile is these are the areas where you will see spikes, dropping back inside, and that's a setup to go to the other side because buyers are in control for at least this, which is exactly the trade we're opening now. We have a big belly in the volume profile, so we want to see price breaking above and going to the other side. Or you want to see if outside of these levels there's a very strong breakout that can allow you to go for a new auction, but only when we have a proof that this is not the fair valuation of the asset anymore. It's just based on money. It's super objective, guys. Super objective. Do we have a RTH gap fill? No, unfortunately not, I think. Let me just check. ETH session, let's take it off. I mean, yesterday we closed around here. And the gap was not huge, to be honest. And we went really close to it at the opening of the session. So this is like a partial gap fill. Like we had this gap to fill, right? And as soon as we went up here, this was the only idea for a sell, a very short-term sell idea to get here, okay? To get sort of here. Now the other trade idea that could happen is if we break back inside, it means that we're not ready. I do think, I mean, it's not what I think, but the market is clearly telling us we're in an upward auction. But if we trade back inside here and break below, there's a high chance that this will be the target for the day instead. But as of now, we don't have any indication that that is happening anytime soon. Setting for the DOM, please, mine doesn't look like that. This one, you mean? This is the basic ones. Where can I get information about which data feed that I required for a certain deep charts indicator? You just need level 1, guys. I think I've mistaken the last time, but you just need level 1. I asked Antonio. Do you advise delta neutral strategies where on point of control or balance profile? As delta neutral, what do you mean? Like buying and selling volatility? I mean, yes, when you're in a situation of balance and you've been pumping up the entire day and the ATR is done, it's likely that we're going to see some consolidation. Then you can probably go delta neutral. Yeah. Chart 1. What do you mean? Deep effort will be explained by Fabio. What is the fair value for the SPX? What do you mean? The fair value is wherever it's priced at now. About the CVD, I think there's a comment about CVD. Let's analyze. So what is this telling you? Big effort for sellers that dropped below here. And here means here. So in this leg of price, there was a lot of aggression that led to this big of a leg. Here, sellers are doing even more effort up to the point where they broke below this low, but they just do a little bit. This means that a lot of sellers in this price swing are being absorbed. So that's still good for us. That's still good news for us. Because the effort they're trying to make is not enough to be as impactful on price as this effort from buyers. Is that clear? Yeah, a lot of empty candles. And we can see here also, we can see that, yeah. I mean, there was a lot of volume that we're going to see on the way up anyways, but. Right, we were low volume, bam. A lot of delta, big volume activity. Now that we're dropping down, we don't see a lot of that. We still see somewhat lower volume action. So now, if we create a range here and then we break above it, that's another good indication that we're going to go up. Or something that could happen is, we break below, the same buyers that bought here, we want to see them very aggressive at this point to bring price back into the small situation of balance, and that's another idea, okay? And if we break below and break back inside, then we accept the loss. and likely price is going to reverse, and that's not a session I'd like to be in. And it's harder to manage, and you guys do not have the experience and the knowledge yet. Can we make our own indicators? Yes, you can. We're going to make a live session with Rodolfo. He's going to explain you how to do custom indicators, but it's still on a beta phase. We're going to improve it a lot in the next few months. What do you mean by empty candle? I mean that there's not a lot of volume and not a lot of war going on inside. Like, look at this. Do you see a lot of colors? Not so many, right? Let's see how the breakout looked like. Look at this. A lot of more colors. Now you don't see it a lot, but I want to see a lot of colors. I want to see a lot of darkness in the colors to see if there's participation. Here, there's not a lot of absorption, participation, big traders. It's just a weak type of move. In NASDAQ, we close the gap. There you go. Can you guys add session end time on session time indicator? Yes, we can. When are we checking the other templates with volume candles and the rest of the other templates? Yeah, whenever there's, our dear friend Rodolfo is going to show us, we're going to check a lot of other templates, but for now we want to stick with the basics and teach every single one of you. Since you have 1 year with the platform, we first want you to master the basic tools, okay? So first we're going to go through all the basics, and then we're gradually going to build stuff on top. This is a good candle, guys. Let's see, if it closes above these two big trades, it's a good indication. This is a very clear, strong buying candle. Buyers are clearly in control here. Look at all of these stacked imbalances. We don't want to see these broken through. I think we lost our deep stats. Let's look at the volume. Yes, that's what we want to see. But the colors are not my colors. Wait a second. Oh, now we're talking. What do we want to see in the breakout, guys? Do we want to see that when the price breaks out, there's low volume, low interest, not a lot of action going on, low initiative, or we want to see power from buyers? Let me know in the chat. What do we want to see? Okay, how do we recognize if there's power? With candles? No. With price patterns? No. How do we see it? How do we see it, chat? Yep, we want to see volume. So, what happened during this breakout over here? 2, 3, 3, 3, 4. Is volume going up or is volume going down? Yeah, we want to see big balls, correct. Buyers need to show they have balls, you know what I'm saying? High delta, big order. Okay, strong order volume, yes. What happened here? There's a lot of delay, by the way. Absorption. Yes, correct, but there was Price going, like volume going up, right? Perfect. 3, 4, 4, 4, 5. So are we surprised that this is happening now? No. There's absorption here, yes, but from who? Who got absorbed here, guys? Look at this candle. After buyers were in control of the aggressive auction, who was in control of the passive auction over here? Who got absorbed over here? Sellers. Can you see this through candles alone? Yes or no? Or actually, no or no? And what happens after these big guys, which are this big trades that you see over here, got absorbed? Do you understand why you bought this software? Okay. Let's review also what happened here, right? We're about to break out. What do we want to see? Well, first what we see here is, oh, who got absorbed here? Sellers. There's a big volume. And right after the big volume, we pump up with even more volume. Good to know. What happens when we break out? What happens to the volume? 3.9, 3.7, 4.2, 4.1, 4.5, 4.55. What happens to the volume? Does it go up or does it go down? What do we want to see in the breakouts? Let's go. How do we want the auction to look like? Little bit of colors, little pale candles. No, we want to see big imbalances, cluster of imbalances and green delta. We want to see the power of the pressure. That's exactly why we are now, depending on how you enter the market, with the first idea being a little bit more aggressive as we've seen. The first idea was a 1 to 4 risk to reward already for conservatives. And by conservatives I don't mean non-liberals, but I mean conservative risk-wise. We are 1 to 2 already. You could just fuck off for the day if you wanted to. Look at this, bro. W's in the fucking chat, please. Whoa, is this real? Was there a liquidity void? This is so weird. I think, no, this can't be real. This is very unlikely to happen. There was a liquidity void. This is probably going to go down and close the liquidity void. When you see 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, it's a liquidity void. There's literally there was no liquidity in the book, which is, I think this is just a bug in the data. It's very unlikely to happen. And typically it's not a good sign. Are some inside you keep just for you? Some just to give all the info for free. The value that you teach doesn't match the price. That's the point of what we do here. We want to over deliver. I'm telling you everything I know about order flow, guys. Ooh, we have a big trade going on here. So what do we want to see here now, guys? Do we want to see a candle closing with a strong initiative auction with high delta and high volume below this big trade that now got absorbed? And you can see them here, 2 big trades. Or we want to see maybe some down but rejection, and then price showing a clear initiative. How do you deal with doubt? With numbers, Alexander. I look at the fucking numbers. Numbers reduce the need for interpretation. That's the cool part about order flow. You don't need to guess what's going on from candles. You see what's going on. I don't have a doubt when I'm looking at order flow. I can have an auction which is not clear. But when I see numbers, I know who's in control. I don't have a doubt. Okay, what happened now? Did these big sellers have any sort of results in price? No. Okay, so what's going to happen when we drop above here? More aggressive buying. There you go. Bravo. This is the level of precision you can get when you know what really drives the markets. Look at this, guys. Come on. What a session. Is it normal that the numbers of contracts moving on gold are very smaller compared to ES? Yes, that's normal. ES is the most traded futures out there. Okay? Gold has not a lot of volume. Which question we have to ask ourselves to make a good narrative in the market. You should keep watching these live sessions and look at what's the difference between footprints and big trades? Big trades or deep trades will only show you these bubbles. The footprint will show you every single number of every single order, the volume profiles, the bid and ask traded, so there's much more details. Fabio is so good at reading order flow and price action that he just needs the bubbles. Up 5K today, done these live sessions. That's awesome. Would you suggest to focus on specific charts or just overall concepts we're practicing? What do you mean, Elior? I think you should just follow the course of the course, and just follow the process bit by bit. Oh, there's a lot of people. Up $5,000 this day. Acabo de pasar mi challenge 3 cuentas de 150. Let's go. A lot of W's. A lot of W's. That's good. What hours to consider for each session? London, America, Asia. Personally, we mostly trade during the cash New York session because that's where the most money is traded. With order flow, is it necessary to have price action level marked? No. So the way I draw levels is with the volume profiles. So how to build a daily narrative, as we've seen before. What I want to see is, with the composite volume profile, where's the area of comfort and where's the area of low volume, okay? And I want to see where we're at. And if we're on the, let's say, lower part, but I think this doesn't show all of the, let me just load a couple more days. Yeah, when you're doing analysis on the 5-minute chart and looking at the volume profiles, you might want to have in the price settings at least the last 90 days. It's going to take some time to load, guys, but it's worth it, so you can understand the concept. What are the factors that you see changing midday? Not much. I don't change my bias when I have my confirmations. And my main confirmations is breaking out with strong order flow on the upside of the opening range. So, what we want to see is, where is the big chunk of volume? Where did volume drop significantly? These two areas. And we want to see, where do we open? Okay? So for example, we open right on the zone. Okay, did we drop back because these prices are not fair anymore and we see a lot of volume going to the downside? Okay, this is a short session. Do we create some form of range that we break and we strongly get back inside of the area of comfort? Perfect. We're not ready yet to auction lower, as proven here, as proven here, as proven here, and all the times before. So, well, the only thing we're going to evaluate is longs. So we want to trade long on this side of the money, where we know the big money bought before, bought before, bought before, bought before, and all the way before. So we want to be on the right side of the big money. And as a target, we look at where the most money was traded, up until here. Perfect. So that's what I'm going to get the fuck out of the market. So we want to open our trades in a situation of anomaly compared to this volume, because that's where smart money typically joins the trend. And we want to place our target on the other side of smart money. It's very easy, guys. And if we, for example, let's say we're here now, right? And we have developing high sessions, maybe a low session, high session. So you see the volume profiles of each session going higher, right? So we know that the money's going up on a session by session basis. And we see that we are here, okay? We open the session in an area of comfort. What happens if there's a strong breakout with a lot of volume, but volume slowly decreases, and instead on the way down, we see strong selling pressure and volume going up? Am I gonna buy this market, guys? Am I gonna buy this market? No. But if the same thing happens, we go outside with big strong volume and we stay there a long time, what does this mean? And then the next breakout happens and there's a lot of volume. What will I do here? What's my bias for the day? What's my bias for the next trade? With increasing volume on the outside, well, there's a lot of interest. So smart money likes it. So probably this is not the fair valuation anymore, and we're likely to start a phase of price discovery. That's how I create my bias for the day. Look at where the money is. Look at where we are with right now. Is there some space to go to the other side of the big money? Or if we're outside, how convicted we are, how convinced we are that we can keep going and ride the anomaly all the way through. This is how you create a bias. And then you take the previous session, okay? For example, this, let's say the previous session is here. Okay, this is where we closed. And we have our session starting here. So we have a gap, which is this. This is the first 50 minutes of the session, and the candles, as we are also in a low volume area, and let's say the volume profile is somewhere like this, and there's a breakout here with a lot of volume and intentionality, we have 70% chances that the gap will get filled. We have 70% chances that the breakout will continue. We have 70% chances here that we're likely going to go to the other side, plus order flow is on our side. Trading doesn't have to be hard, but we want to look at real stuff. We want to have the statistics on our side and the money on our side. It's really hard not to make money like this. And if in this case, price goes lower, perfect. I take my stop loss, I don't care. Because I have 1, 2, 3 statistical data points on my side. I have the edge, I have an asymmetry between the chances of taking a loss rather than a profit. I can also have a high risk to reward with a really high win rate. Of course, there's going to be some session where breakouts don't go, we're going to take some stop loss, and you just need to sit the fuck down, take maximum 3 trades for the day, and fuck off. And here, with our deep charts, you don't even have to enforce it yourself. You just go here on options, settings, money management, and set your maximum drawdown for the day, set your maximum number of trades for the day, so you don't even need to worry about over trading. Welcome to professional trading. Volume dropped by time after market open. Yeah, that's correct. Normally, that's what happens. Now, what's happening here? We have some consolidation. So let me ask you something to the chat. Let's say now I draw a volume profile from here to here. Where do you think most of the volume will be? Where do you think most of the money will be? At the top, volume up, P all the way left. Let's see. See if you guys understood. Oh, there's a little problem. Second. There you go. Most of the money traded here. Okay. So if now price goes this way, maybe bumps here, what do we want to see auction wise? Yeah, you could also evaluate something like this. Okay. And let's say now aggressive sellers take control of the short-term auction. Absorption is a good one. Bravo, Grejos, sorry. Yeah, of course we want to see go back up. Guys, rejection, go back up. I want to know auction-wise. What do we want to see the money to tell us? The pressure of buyers and sellers. Yes, sellers absorbed is a good point. So the first, ideally what we want to see is sellers being absorbed. That's good. That's a good one. So we want to see now that we've broken below here, aggressive sellers are going to kick in. Okay, there you go. And we either want to see one of two things. The first one is an absorption, as you guys say. But an absorption always has to be followed by an initiative. So you want to see an absorption, a lot of darkness in contracts, and then big initiation long. That's when you know we are on the side of the money. Another thing we might want to see, for example, is not so much volume. Look at here. 2, 3, 2, let's see. We don't want to see a lot of volume. We want to see not a lot of interest going on here. So we either want to see an absorption with the following initiative or an exhaustion. An exhaustion is where you see low volume, a bit of shyness from sellers, not a lot of shit going on, just what happened right here now. Okay? And buyers taking control of the auction again. Now, what is likely that you're going to see at the top of the range? Buyers being absorbed. That's what you call a responsive auction. So what you're going to often see is you're going to reach these areas and you see buyers and a lot of green, dark green at the tops. Dark green at the top, 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 and also at the bottoms. Dark at the bottom, dark at the bottom. Not a lot of darkness at the bottom, which means that passive buyers are present here and the aggressive sellers here are not able to push it down. Same thing over here. Buyers are not ready to accept paying higher prices because sellers here are absorbing all of that inertia. Okay? So that's what we want to see. And probably this is the same area. So this is the area where we see all of that absorption. That's where we're going to see it now. And that's where aggressive sellers kick in again. So if we see a lot of, again, buyers absorbed here, just like it happened here, 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 and here, we know that we're not ready yet. But what happens if this battle between big sharks is clearly won by buyers? I might marry you. I just got divorced, guys, so please give me some time. See, we have some reaction there. See? So these sellers are still controlling this areas of price, this part of the auction. You see imbalance on top, imbalance on top. That's not good sign for buyers, right? Let's see what will happen below here. How do I look at exhaustion using footprint candles? You just want to see not a lot of big colors. So you want to see a very light type of candle and not a lot of volume going on. Here instead, this is an absorption candle. You see more volume, but most of the volume is being absorbed. So you see a lot of darkness on those candles. Also here, absorption. When I see this type of candle, it's not so much activity, you know? Oh, look at these buyers. Aggressive buyers try to push up, but this is the result. So this is the first time we see some sellers starting to try to take control. Let's see what this candle will do. Your bias on composite volume profile 90 days, Fabio has based on value area high of the ETH, of the regular trading hour actually. That can be combined? Yes, absolutely. I mean, that's just for the long-term bias if you want to trade intraday swings, okay? Look again, what's happening here to these buyers? Absorbed. Not so good. Let's see, next candle. Let's see if they win the battle, and then they're going to get absorbed once here more. Or if these sellers are starting to get in control, we're going to see some more pressure down. What is the yellow line from the volume profile? That's the VWAP. The volume weighted up. Ooh, sellers also being absorbed here. There's a big seller here. Let's see. When you see a lot of buying and selling in both areas, this is what we call a liquidity pocket. Ooh, this is good. Yeah, we're shorting off of a liquidity pocket. This is also the same place where this thing happened, around the same areas. So we're going to see some aggression now. There you go. Okay, this is exactly the scenario we were waiting for, right? Let's see how this candle performs. We're probably going to have some big trades going on at some point here. Where's the other chart? Yeah, I took them off. Deep trades. 180. That's a strong sell candle. Where did most of the volume got traded? Here at the bottom. So let's see. But just as I told you, when we saw it here, they were in control. This is where we saw it before. And we knew that this was going to happen. Because this is anticipating. Volume is the leading price, you guys. Look. Now we're getting exactly to the bottom of this value area. Let's also adapt our volume profile here now. So now that we got absorbed, what did I say we need to wait for? What do we need to wait for now? Where did we go? Right here. The area we've drawn before. This is where the big buyers came in, right? And they broke above here. Okay. Look at what happens. Now, if we close this candle above the previous liquidity pocket, guess what will happen? So if we see a candle closing above this area, with a strong initiative and volume, we're likely going to go up. And we define this as, which one of the two patterns is this? Is this an exhaustion? As we said, we're two options, right? We have the exhaustion and we have the absorption plus initiative. What happened here was an exhaustion. What is this one? Do you see the darkness here? What is that? A lot of contracts, 400 contracts just right there. Absorption and initiative. Now, we initiated a nice movement, but what happened here? Where did we bounce? Where did I tell you we needed to close above? We need to close with aggression and with volume above here. Did we do it? No. Not yet. Actually, that's exactly where the same traders that caused this liquidity pocket, that are not small traders, you guys, these are big traders, are taking control of the auction again. If we break below here, we're likely to keep going lower for at least the next few candles. And we're likely going to reach at least this point. But let's see. Yes, that's also the value area low, correct? Please add Nifty on this platform. We will, guys. If the trade was open in real time, you will be stop loss, break even, or still. So I normally, with the opening range breakout, I just keep it, I just let it run. Okay, I do not touch that trade. If I were to manage it, at this point, I could trail my stop loss below this consolidation here. So I could probably trail my stop loss either below here, or whenever I see a strong bullishness, I can put it even more tight below there. But it's not ready yet. As I said, I'm happy to take a stop loss. Look at the precision, guys. Like, do you see that these guys, that are these guys, that are these guys, and that are also these guys over here that blocked price from going up, are now creating the rejection. Imbalance on top, imbalance on top, rejection again, rejection again. That's not random. It's the exact area. Big trades ruled the market. I think we're gonna make this one a little longer than usual. We're already 1 hour 30 minutes in. What's the difference between your approach and Fabio's approach to scalping? It's very similar actually, but he scalps, I don't. he's an actual scalper. He's an actual scalping day trader. I'm an options trader now. My goal here is just to show you the effectiveness of auction theory models, and he's the one walking the walk the most. Can you suggest aggregate trades minimum number for big trades on the 15-second chart? I'm not trading a lot on the 15 minutes chart, but second chart, but probably Fabio can give you some tips on that. Fabio scalps 2-4 ticks? No. 2-4 ticks on NASDAQ are nothing, guys. That's HFT level stuff. He doesn't do that. He's an intraday scalping trader. He's a momentum trader. We're likely gonna break below here, guys, let me tell you. I see too much aggression yet. Aggression, 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 imbalances. Or there's just small candles, you know. That's what a price action trader would say. But now let's see. We broke below, we're spending so much time below here. So there's a lot of interest already below this. See? CBD showing divergent, it should go up. No, that's not how to use the CBD. You have to wait, because sometimes CBD can predict what price will do. What did I tell you just now? You can't make this shit up. We're live, everyone in the markets right now. Look at these buyers. What is happening to these buyers, guys? They were getting absorbed. Now they seem to be taking control of the auction. Let's see. I don't like this, but let's see. I want to see this happening at the top and that top being broken. Learned a lot in 10 days since subscribing. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Is your template for NASDAQ not active yet? No. Also, you guys should either know how to adapt it yourself to practice a little bit with the platform, or use Fabio's template on NASDAQ. Okay? Look. So there's some buyers, these guys that are aggressive on the bottoms. Okay? And these are the same guys that caused this thing to happen. So they're managing to avoid price going too much down. But we don't have a clear auction yet. We want to see a closure above here to be confident that the price will continue. Ooh, this is a good candle. This is a good initiative. This is good. Boom. Yeah. Let's see if we can close. Now that's an initiative candle, guys. That's an initiative candle. Do you see all the green? If it closes here, we're going, okay? If it rejects, of course not. It could happen the same thing that happened here. It's the same concept. But look at this imbalance, 82, 66, 243. This is good. This is volume. We got order flow on our side. Once more. Let's see if we can close, come on. Holy shit, I'm up 14,000 already. Let's go. Almost there, we almost closed above. Ideally would have been a full candle. I don't like this wick over here. Let's see the next candle. But it's already really good. What happens to the volume, guys? Look at what happens. Read the auction. 2.5, 2.6, 2.4, 2. Going down. What happens when we go back up? 2.9, 2.6, 3.3. Okay, who's dominating? The algo? No. Aggressive buyers. Yay! Now, next fighting area will be this one. I see some questions. Is this a scalp idea? It could be. Like this could be a scalp idea to go to the other side and then break above below. Above, sorry. Break above again. Could I scalp with everything I'm teaching? I'm literally calling every single market movement in front of your eyes, live, plus the trade. But it is stressful. It is very stressful. Now, let's see if we're gonna test this area. And the winners of this battle are going to be present once more. So this is, again, it's the same concepts, guys. This is fractal concepts. Same thing here. We have the volume profile. This is the main areas. Okay, what happened when we go down? What happened during the anomaly? Well, that was clearly an anomaly. We dropped back right inside like if it was, like it's hot. Okay? Okay, what happens when we drop back inside? More or less volume? Okay, awesome, more volume. Perfect. So we wait for a test and we go to the other side, right? Perfect. When it's to the other side, we wait. If this happens, we're probably going to go back inside if there's more volume on the way down. Otherwise, volume on the way up, we keep breaking up. Same concepts, but fractal. Still hard to get my hand around this all. It's normal, especially if you're your first lesson, David. I strongly advise you to watch the whole course bit by bit and then come back and rewatch these live sessions, which we are planning to. By the way, I'm for sure gonna do it. I'm gonna do it more. Like I'm gonna still do these live sessions even after the boot camps is over. Maybe a less intensity, and you're not gonna have Fabio, of course. But we're gonna try to keep providing you this sort of service. See, aggressive sellers on top. Would you go short if the buyers got absorbed? Here, no. No. The auction is high. Look at this, guys. Look at this candle. Look at this auction. See? Exactly what happened. We tested the bottom, test, go up to the other side. Who got active here? Aggressive sellers. Okay, push the price down. Little absorption at the bottom. What happened later? Buyers to control again. Let's see what happens here now. This is the final countdown. Let's see if these buyers... Look at this. Would you... Ooh, boom. Look at this. Is beautiful, guys. Beautiful. This is all about what's happening now. Did you see how they shot market orders after they got absorbed over here? Buyers are in control now. If price closes below here, yes. And this candle should not do this. Exactly. If the next candle moves below, then it's not a good trade. But this is a scalping. This is a scalping set. We likely had a big trade over here. Let's also check with this. Yeah. So what we want to see is a candle closing above these big trades. We want to see this candle closing long. 1,000 contracts. We have a big guy right in the market now that just bought the entire thing. So, aggressive play for a scalper. We buy here, we stop below here. aggressive play. Conservative play, we wait for the 5-minute candle to close with a full body above these big trades. Because this can be simply big stop orders above here. Okay, this could be a stop run. But when you see, again, what is the auction telling us? Look at this chart, guys. You can't even see that candle for how big the buy candle of the CVD is. Look at this. What is the volume telling us? On the buy side, more volume, 3.3. More volume, 4.9. Buyers are in control, but here there was a huge traders selling to it, and now they're taking control, so we are not ready yet. We want to see a candle closing. Also, as I told you, the model of the last time, whenever there's a trade on the 5-minute candle in the ES that has 1.2 thousand contracts absorbed at one level with big trades on it, we want to see the candle closing above. That's when we know the auction is long. We're still not ready yet. Jewish fake out. Incoming. Yeah, that was the FCHU. It was exactly the FCHU. We were exactly waiting for someone like this. These are the same guys, the same big guys that tried to push up here but couldn't. And now they were so angry, they just punched the wall. Let's see if they're gonna break the wall. Because now it's just a punch to the wall, guys. We wanna see if this is a Hulk punch. Or if it's just a Spider-Man punch. Do you ever stock 5 or 10 contracts on a position? I'm trading options, so. With options, maximum probably 7 contracts for my current size. But as soon as I'm done with this forward testing phase and I load some money on top of it, then I'm probably going to go with a 30, 40 contracts at a time. So we got big volume and then no follow-up. Not good. At a big, this is a, if they start selling, this is a strong high. And it means that the big ass players that were here had a winner that we didn't quite like to see. So here is where I might either close my trade if I'm active, so either take some partial profit, not close the entire trade for sure, or maybe put a trailing stop below this aggression. Okay, that's not how I like to trade, but if you want a more dynamic type of thing, that's how you could potentially do it. So we go to the other side of the value area. Let's now adjust our volume profile. Okay, now this is our value area low now. This is our ledge. This is our value area high. See? Not ready yet. What I would like to have seen after this is a candle closing above this area and more volume activity going on. What did we see? More aggressive selling. Perfect. So who won this quick battle? Not buyers for sure. We're not ready to break out yet. Is there not an indicator for the deep wall? Yes, but it's a specific model that I'm going to tell in a specific live session, but it's not as present anymore, as I said. See, this is also not good. If the next candle is short, this is not a good setup because we have volume. Actually, you know, look at this. 5,000, 2,000, 2,000, 1,000, 1.4. And as we drop back inside with aggressive selling, 2.7, 2.8 increases the volume in the auctions. So let's see. I accidentally rolled over the new contract. How do I get back to the previous one? Oh dear. I have no idea. Please ask our support team. It never happened to me. You and Fabio are just preachers for the market. Well, look at this. Aggressive buyers, no results. Not so good. Will you teach us how to trade options? No. First I want to trade them for a long time. Is Fabio also going live? Yes, tomorrow, guys. This is good. We see those buyers absorb, they try to fight, and now they won the fight. Let's see. Again, we will reach the other side of the value area. This is where I told you I would have placed my trailing stop loss, remember, if I were to be aggressive. Because still, this auction failed, buyers get in control. So up until here, my idea is not broken. If we break below here with great volume, then the idea is broken. Let's see the 5-minute close. We're still on time. We're still on time to close one candle above that. Also, this candle closed with a big rejection. Yeah, this is just, you know, boring responsive auction from both sides. For the next session, how can we develop a bias just like you in the beginning? Rewatch this multiple times and watch the course because I exactly explain how to do it. Do you draw the volume profile exactly with the consolidation phase? Yes. I normally take the last impulse with consolidation and just have it there. Okay, guys. I need to hop on another session now. I have another live session with the World Class Edge team. Let's see. Yep. Pregunta, ¿hay algún sector donde podemos enviar las sugerencias a aquella cosa que podemos implementar o mejorar? Por ejemplo, me gustaría que la plataforma tenga una herramienta de Anchor de VWAP o AVWAP y cosas así. Gracias. See, this is a candle I'm not happy about for the long trades. Sí, Nicolás. Vamos a tener un portal donde podrás sugerir todas las, las implementaciones o mejoramiento que quieres en la plataforma. Save custom settings. I've shown it at the early stages of the session. Now we want to see aggressive buyers taking the upper hand. Yeah, World Class Edge is something that we've done. We're still evaluating how long it's gonna keep going, because as you see now we're more on the software business. Awesome. So before we leave a feedback in the chat if you enjoyed this live session. Leave a W if you took a nice trade, if you managed to take, you know, some good trades today or understood a little bit more about the auction today, so that I can share this also with our friends. And yeah, I'm gonna make a video of the comments as always, because we don't have a feedback section on the Discord yet. Awesome. How long will it be available? Forever. Like you're gonna keep it. Software's being paid today. Yeah, Discord is taking long. I know, guys. It's on us, but it's gonna happen this week, 100%. Just allow us some time, because we're again coaching some specific coaches that will help you with everything that relates to order flow inside of the course as well. Okay. Have a good one, guys. Ooh, look at this. Yep. Whenever we break above this, you're gonna see aggressive sellings kicking in. Now this is the last chance for our buyers to push the auction higher. We want to see big aggression and then either exhaustion or absorption over here and a big aggression to drop back inside. That's our ultimate trade. Otherwise, we're out for the day with a good profit. Okay, guys, that's all for today. Thank you for being here, and I will see you guys on Wednesday. Have a good day, everyone.